Chapter 61 Trial Tower. You are listening at MTnovel. Zhuge Shan, as one of the powerful god of war masters of the Extreme Martial Arts Hall, the largest force in the world, was quite popular in the god of war palace. After a while, he led Yang Wu to meet many god of war masters. In addition, the news of Yang Wu's suppression of Fong Qing has been spread by several gods of war who went to support the Phantom Team. Many gods of war are aware of Yang Wu's strength, so they are also very enthusiastic towards him. Finally, Zhuge Shan took Yang Wu to a corner of the hall and gathered with a group of gods of war from extreme martial arts gyms. Yang Wu, what do you like to eat? It's your first time here today. I'll treat you. Zhuge Shan reached out and took the menu from the waiter on the side and handed it to Yang Wu. Yang Wu took the menu over with a smile and said, "Why bother Zhuge to treat you? I should be the one to treat you." That when Zhuge Shan gave him materials for Lord-level monsters, he couldn't refuse. How could he be willing to treat him now? Looking at the prices on the menu, Yang Wu was secretly shocked. An ordinary dish costs more than 100,000 Chinese coins, and the price of higher prices can even reach hundreds of thousands or even millions. Normally, a few gods of war would cost millions of Chinese coins just to order some wine and food. If you want to eat more sumptuously, you may need tens of millions of Chinese coins. Of course, those who can come to the God of War Palace are the richest people in the world, and they can afford such consumption. Even the weakest junior god of war has the ability to hunt down Lord-level monsters, and any one of them can cost more than 1 billion Chinese coins. Can't you just enjoy it a few times now and then? After enjoying the delicious food, Zhuge Shan began to take Yang Wu to browse the various facilities of the God of War Palace. Yang Wu, this is the Ares Palace Mall. Zhuge Shan pointed to a 3-story building with an extremely large area and said with a smile, "If you have anything you want to buy, we can go in and have a look." The prices of items in the God of War Palace are much cheaper than outside. Yang Wu shook his head. He had just received a reward from the Extreme Martial Arts Gym, which provided him with all the equipment and secrets. As for dragon blood, although he wanted to continue to buy and use it, he didn't have enough money now. Seeing that Yang Wu was not interested, Zhuge Shan continued to lead Yang Wu forward. Arena Square, Auction Hall. Not long after, the two people came to a tall 7-story pagoda building. Yang Wu, this tower is one of the most important facilities in the palace of the God of War. The Warrior Trial Tower is of great significance for us to hone our own moves and skills. Zhuge Shan sighed. Yang Wu looked up and saw a huge tower. The entire tower was carved with various patterns, and all kinds of strange carvings were spread throughout the tower. Trial Tower. Yang Wu immediately remembered the various posts about the elite training camp on the Extreme House Forum. The content of the Trial Tower was the most discussed, so Yang Wu couldn't help but be eager to try it. Zhuge Shan quickly discovered Yang Wu's thoughts and couldn't help but smile and said, "I forgot, Yang Wuqian has never joined the global training camp, and he must be very unfamiliar with this Trial Tower. Do you want to try it now?" Yang Wu nodded. So, Yang Wu and Wu immediately walked to the main entrance of the Trial Tower. "Look at that stone pillar." Zhuge Shan pointed to a black stone pillar at the front entrance of the Trial Tower. There are actually carved words on this stone pillar: name, Yang Wu, sex, male, identity, elementary god of war. Trial Tower level, 1.0. Yang Wu turned his head and looked at the black stone pillar in front of Zhuge Mountain. There were also carved words on the stone pillar: name, Zhuge Shan, sex, male, identity, middle god of war, Trial Tower level, 2.9. Yang Wu, are you curious about the level of this Trial Tower? Zhuge Shan asked with a smile. Yang Wu nodded. Although he has passed through the Trial Tower many times in the simulator, this is the first time he has seen it in the real world. Anyone who breaks into this Trial Tower will use the same physical fitness as a junior warrior. After passing the first level, you can enter the second level. At this time, the level of the Trial Tower will be displayed as 2.0. If you can break through to the third floor, the Trial Tower level will become 3.0. By analogy, when you break through a certain Trial Tower level, such as the 4th floor, your Trial Tower level will be 4.0 or 4.1, 4.9, all of these are possible. So what, do you want to try it right away? In fact, Zudshan was also very curious about which level Yang Wu could reach. Okay. After Yang Wu said this, he took 2 steps forward and walked to the door of the trial tower. At this time, an electronic voice suddenly sounded, "Yang Wu, please choose combat uniforms and weapons." Various styles of combat uniforms and weapons immediately appeared in front of Yang Wu's eyes. Yang Wu directly chose a set of 6 series combat uniforms and a military breaking gun. At this time, the physical fitness is only at the elementary warrior level. Choosing a better combat uniform will affect the performance of strength due to weight. After putting on his equipment, Yang Wu walked directly into the dark entrance ahead. As if the space was transformed, Yang Wu immediately entered a vast prairie. Yang Wu. The electronic voice echoed throughout the prairie, "Please kill the 50 junior beasts and general-level bulls that are besieging you within 10 minutes. If you die in the middle, you have failed. If the number of kills has not been reached after 10 minutes, failure. You have 5 minutes to prepare." Yang Wu stood in the middle of the prairie, looking at the wild cow gradually appearing in the distance, and instantly turned into a stream of light and rushed over. In front of the trial tower, many gods of war have just finished training in the trial tower. After coming out, I happened to see Yang Wu walking into the trial tower. A god of war who knew Yang Wu immediately revealed his identity. The new god of war Yang Wu is breaking into the trial tower. In an instant, this news was spread by several war gods in front of the trial tower. Because of the palace of the god of war, news flows very quickly among the higher-ups on earth. At this time, many gods of war already knew about Yang Wu's fight with Fang Qing, the demon drinking sword, so they were very curious about Yang Wu's trial tower level. Therefore, more and more war gods appeared in front of the trial tower. Base city, Fang Qing, the demon drinking sword, was drinking alone. After failing the mission, he only received a consolation reward of 3 billion Chinese coins and lost 5 billion directly. As for the remaining bounty, it was all withheld by the Legion. After the Flame Legion receives a bounty, it will usually only take action once. No matter whether it is successful or not, the bounty will not be refunded. Of course, generally speaking, the Flame Legion rarely misses. This failure can only be said to be the person who issued the task was unlucky. As for the Flame Legion, it won't be a loss anyway. Suddenly, Fang Qing's watch vibrated slightly. He was in a bad mood and didn't want to pay attention at all, but his communication watch kept vibrating. In desperation, Fang Qing could only lift the communication watch and click it lightly. A series of text messages immediately appeared on the watch screen. "He's breaking into the trial tower." Fang Qing showed a trace of sadness and anger on his face, and then quickly found a quiet environment, took out the consciousness sensor, and entered the palace of the god of war. He wanted to see which level this Yang Wu could reach. From now on, every day's chapters will be posted together at 1900 hours. It will be more convenient to follow up in this way. Chapter 62 Shock. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. Zhuge Shan, Deng Tong, Yang Hui, hundreds of war god level experts came to the trial tower. So many people are here. Zudshan smiled and greeted everyone. Others also smiled and greeted Zhuge Shan, but their attention was focused on the stone pillar showing the level of Yang Wu's trial tower. "Everyone, what level do you think the Yang Wu god of war trial tower can reach this time?" A black god of war asked with a smile. "At least 3.5. That devil drinking knife, Fang Qing has a trial tower level of 3.2. I think war god Yang Wu can probably break into the 4th level. After all, he was suppressing war god Fang Qing in the first place. I also think I can get to the 4th floor. It's impossible. There are probably not more than 100 people in the world who can make it to the 4th floor of the trial tower. Fang Qing is here. Fang Qing, tell me." At this time, Fang Qing had appeared in front of the trial tower. There was a conflict between him and Fang Qing, so he directly spoke sarcastically. "Humph." Fang Qing sneered, "Even if the trial tower is of a higher level and has poor life-saving capabilities, it will still perish in the wilderness area." Obviously, Fang Qing still didn't know that Yang Wu had obtained the Black God suit. The level of Yang Wu God of War's trial tower has changed. War God, who had been paying attention, reminded him. Everyone stopped chatting and turned their heads to look at the black stone pillars that showed the level of Yang Wu's trial tower. I only saw on the stone pillar that the level of Yang Wu's trial tower had changed from 1.0 to 2.0. This, hasn't it been long? Someone said in disbelief. About half an hour or so. This speed is too fast. You know, each floor of the trial tower is divided into 3 levels, which take 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and 50 minutes respectively, but just over half an hour had passed, and Yang Wu had already completely passed the first level. The war gods gathered in front of the trial tower were a little shocked. Of course, Yang Wu in the trial tower didn't know what was happening outside. He was just trying his best to move up. On the second floor of the trial tower, the monsters changed from a relatively large bull-like monster to a very small armored scorpion monster. Even an elementary warrior-level armored scorpion is no more than 50 centimeters long. Therefore, when the iron-armored scorpions attack, they can dispatch more than 10 or even 20 of them at the same time, making them very difficult to deal with. Of course, the armored scorpion is smaller in size and weaker in strength, so as long as the movement skills are sufficient, the speed of clearing the level will be much faster. Half an hour later, Yang Wu completely passed the second level, and his trial tower level became 3.0 again. On the third floor of the trial tower, the monster changed from the armored scorpion to the more difficult flying monster golden vulture, which was much scarier than the beast-like monsters. Because as long as the bird monster grabs a person with its sharp claws, it can directly lift the person up. There is no place for the human body to borrow strength in midair. Facing a group of golden vulture monsters, it is certain to die. Therefore, when breaking through the level, you must not be caught and hung up by the sharp claws of the golden vulture. A shrill and harsh cry sounded. The golden vultures swooped down from the sky, and the densely packed large golden vultures were like golden clouds, covering Yang Wu. Yang Wu waved the army-breaking gun in his hand again and again, and the shrill screams resounded throughout the sky, and the golden vultures kept falling down. After 80 minutes, the third level was completely passed, and Yang Wu's trial tower level immediately became 4.0, in front of the trial tower. All the gathered war gods were silent, staring at the black stone pillars in front of the door with surprise in their eyes. Although they had previously said that Yang Wu might reach the fourth level, they were just joking. Most of all the gods of war present were at the second or third level, therefore, they all know how terrifying the flying monsters on the third level are. If you make even the slightest mistake, you will be torn to pieces by the golden vulture. This is also the reason why countless veteran God of War level experts have stopped at the third level. However, Yang Wu broke into the trial tower for the first time, and he actually made it to the fourth floor. This news is really unexpected. At this time, Yang Wu also appeared in the space on the fourth floor of the trial tower. On the fourth floor of the trial tower, the monster's strength has undergone tremendous changes. From the first level to the third level, the monsters at the beginning are all at the elementary beast general level. However, at the beginning of the fourth floor, 50 high-level beast general level bulls appeared. Even if there are strong members, most of them are stuck at the fourth level. 15 minutes later, Yang Wu stopped on the fourth floor, and the trial tower level was 4.3. Oh my God! How can it be? How could his skills be so exaggerated? Not to mention he is only in his 20s. Even if he practices for 10 more years, he still won't be able to reach this level. Horrible. Terrible. Feng Qing, God of War, you were not defeated unjustly. That these God of War level warriors were all stunned. Feng Qing also looked ugly. Yang Wu's trial tower level was beyond his reach. Coupled with Yang Wu's age, he was afraid that he would never have the chance to recover the 8 billion Huaxia coins. You know, with a trial tower level of 4.3, the total number of warriors in the world will never exceed 80. In addition to beings beyond the God of War level, only some invincible gods of war and a few outstanding ones among the advanced gods of war can reach such a trial tower level. In other words, as long as Yang Wu's physical fitness reaches the peak of the high God of War, there will be another invincible God of War in the world. There are hundreds of high-level war gods in the world, but there are only a dozen or so who can be called the invincible war gods. Each of these dozen people has an invincible unique skill. Either the sword skills have reached a terrifying level, or the body skills, or the mental power, of course, when it comes to the unilateral realm, perhaps Yang Wu is still a certain distance away from these people. However, Yang Wu's methods are very comprehensive. His marksmanship and body skills were close to the limit of the perfect level, and although his power was a little worse, it was still 3 times higher. If you take any one of them out, you can be considered the best among the God of War warriors. Coupled with more than 10 years of combat experience in the simulator, it is not surprising that such results can be achieved. Brush, swipe. After Yang Wu appeared at the door of the trial tower, a large number of war gods disappeared out of thin air, apparently returning to reality to inform their respective organizational forces. They knew very well that with Yang Wu's current age and trial tower level, it was very likely that he would break through to the planet level within a few years. What did you say? In Kyoto Bay City, Deng Long suddenly received a report from his subordinate war god. He immediately stood up and asked in disbelief, "Is this true?" "My subordinates saw it with their own eyes." Deng Long's war god reported respectfully. Alas! Deng Long sighed, "It's a big loss this time, that if he had known this news before, he would definitely not be reluctant to part with a black god suit. After all, when the ancient civilization ruins number 9 are opened, Yang Wu will also enter them. With his invincible god of war strength, the chance of passing the assessment is definitely over 80%. A large number of war gods spread the results of Yang Wu's trial tower like the wind. The speed of spreading such astonishing news is astonishing. Therefore, within just a few hours, the news that Yang Wu's trial tower reached level 4.3 spread like a whirlwind. At this time, Yang Wu was already surrounded by many war gods. Countless people wanted to make friends with him. In desperation, after Yang Wu greeted everyone, he directly exited the virtual space of the God of War Palace and returned home. In the next few days, Yang Wu once again used the last of the dragon's blood to improve his strength, allowing his brute strength to reach 170,000 kilograms, thanks to the readers, Drowning Shark, for the reward of 500 points. Chapter 63 Making Money. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. In the next few days, in addition to using the remaining dragon blood energy in his body to cultivate his genetic energy, Yang Wu also broke into the trial tower in the God of War Palace. It's a pity that Yang Wu's trial tower level has reached a limit. After a few days, apart from gaining a little combat experience, there is no big gain at all. However, Yang Wu also made some good God of War friends in the God of War Palace, including those from China and several other powerful countries. Yang Wu has good strength and a good personality, so everyone is naturally willing to make friends with him. It is worth mentioning that the day after he learned that Yang Wu's trial tower level had reached 4.3, Fang Qing, the demon drinking sword, asked Zhuge Shan to send 5 billion huaxia coins to Yang Wu, hoping that Yang Wu would stop worrying about it. Things before Fang Qing's move is undoubtedly wise. Although Yang Wu now has no choice but to get him with the black god suit, once Yang Wu becomes a member of the parliament, it will be too easy to deal with him. Of course, in fact, Yang Wu no longer cared about that incident. Firstly, there was no deep hatred between the two. When Fang Qing took action, he only attacked Wang Ji alone. Instead, it was Yang Wu who stopped Fang Qing because of his personal position. Secondly, when he was in the wilderness area, Fang Qing has already reached a reconciliation with Yang Wu, and Yang Wu will naturally not trouble the other party again. Therefore, Yang Wu only accepted 100 million huaxia coins to reassure the other party, and the remaining 4.9 billion was sent back to Fang Qing through Zhuge Mountain. After this incident spread, other powerful people looked at Yang Wu Gao a lot. And even powerful people at the council level praised Yang Wu's behavior. Time passed quickly, and when the level of the trial tower could no longer be improved, Yang Wu decided to work hard to improve his physical fitness first. Although waiting for the next simulation is a good choice, Yang Wu himself has to work hard. Therefore, on October 22nd, Yang Wu entered the wilderness area with the Phantom team again. With Yang Wu's current strength, although he can hunt medium lord level monsters, the possibility of failure is not small. Therefore, Yang Wu set his sights on junior lord level monsters that were more numerous and lower in strength. As for the members of the Phantom team, except for Lu Qing, who is a fireman, they are all high level warriors. The Captain Chu Tian is a high-level warrior-level spiritual master, and can perfectly cooperate with Yang Wu to strangle the beast general level among the beasts. Monster, of course, there is also the reason why Yang Wu plans to take care of several teammates. At first, everyone in the Phantom team was not willing to take advantage of Yang Wu. However, after Yang Wu tried his best to persuade them, everyone still came to the wilderness area with him. Thus, a killing feast began. Yang Wu and others avoided the areas marked with High Lords and Middle Lords, and began to hunt monsters in City 003. In less than a day, the Phantom team, under the leadership of Yang Wu, destroyed the herd of 2 elementary Lord-level monsters and harvested 2 elementary Lord-level monsters, 11 high-level beast generals, 31 medium beast generals, and elementary beast generals. 67 heads. Everyone was like a killing machine, hunting monsters crazily. If there were fewer monsters in one area, they would switch to another area. After 2 days, the backpacks carried by everyone were already half full. In desperation, everyone had no choice but to give up the materials on the junior beast general level, but even so, the backpacks carried by everyone were quickly filled. On the evening of October 30th, city number 003. In the lounge on the upper floor of a residential building, Yang Wu and others gathered together. Yang Wu, you are so awesome. Zheng Tao sighed from the side. I think our backpack straps are missing. In less than 10 days, they are all filled with monster materials. If you carry too many backpacks, it will affect your movements if you encounter danger. Zhou Zheng said seriously from the side. What are you afraid of? Yang Wu is a god of war level warrior, what dangers can he encounter? Zheng Tao wiped the weapon in his hand and said casually. Of course Yang Wu will be fine. Zhou Zheng said seriously, but if we are really in danger, except Yang Wu and the captain, who of us can run away? This. Zheng Tao finally came to his senses. In the past few days, he first broke through to high-level generals, and then, under the leadership of Yang Wu, hunted various high-level monsters, which made him very excited. The only trouble everyone encountered was when Fang Qing intercepted and killed them in the wilderness area, but Fang Qing's target at that time was Wang Ji, not Zheng Tao. And he also received 600 million Chinese coins. Therefore, although Zheng Tao was still a little worried about Wang Ji after being frightened, he no longer cared about it. Now Zheng Tao not only has greatly improved his strength, but also, under the leadership of Yang Wu, the Phantom team is probably making money faster than the banknote printing factory. With his complacency, Zheng Tao's vigilance was no longer what it used to be. At this time, under Zhou Zheng's reminder, he finally woke up and quickly admitted his mistake. Brother Zhou is right, I have been too relaxed these days. Captain. Yang Wu suddenly said, our backpacks are full now. Even if we hunt monsters again, we can't take them with us. Why don't we go back to the supply base first? Chu Tian nodded. Without further ado, let's leave now. In this way, Yang Wu and others immediately set off and set foot on the highway back to the supply base. November 1st, Southeast Military Region Supply Base. It was early morning and the sun had just risen in the east. At the gate of the base, there were many teams that had gone out and returned to the base. Many warriors were injured, some of them serious, and they even had to be helped back by their teammates. There are also many warriors with bulging backpacks and smiling faces. It seems that the materials harvested from this trip to the wilderness area are very considerable. Seeing such warriors, the leaders of the major forces who had been waiting at the entrance of the base city would swarm over, saying hello, trying to make friends, and handing out business cards, making the originally deserted supply base instantly lively. Old Lu, it seems that you have made a good harvest in the wilderness area this time. Huh, not bad, not bad. There were familiar warriors talking to each other about their harvests, and the crowd burst into happy laughter from time to time. Look, the Phantom team is back. Phantom team. I heard that God of War Yang Wu is in their team. Of course, I saw with my own eyes the wilderness area that Yang Wu War God and the Phantom team entered together. Looking at how full their backpacks are, there must be materials from Lord-level monsters in them. However, unlike the last time when they were surrounded by many material dealers as soon as they appeared, this time although there were many people watching around the Phantom team, many purchasers did not dare to come forward to disturb them due to the presence of Yang Wu. The Phantom team had only been out for less than 10 days this time, so there was absolutely no need to return to the base city to rest. Therefore, Yang Wu and others took a short rest at the rest point of the supply base and once again found Wang Tianqing, who had purchased their materials last time, intending to sell the monster materials to him. Generally speaking, the materials purchased for monsters in the supply base are lower than those in the base city. After all, it is more convenient to purchase materials here, but Wang Tianqing was overjoyed when he saw that the Phantom team had approached him, and he quickly promised to calculate the price according to the highest price in the base city. Of course, even so, Wang Tianqing can still make a lot of money from this order. Yang Wu and others hunted a lot of monster materials this time. Wang Tianqing called a few more people to help, and then all the monster materials were processed in a short time. In the end, the Phantom team had 23 billion more Chinese coins in their account. Yang Wu is the main force in hunting monsters. He has 50% of it and is allocated 11.5 billion. The remaining 50% is distributed among Chu Tian and the other 5 people according to their contribution. After dividing the money, everyone began to enjoy the lunch delivered by the supply base. Captain, Yang Wu. Zhou Zheng asked, what will our Phantom team do next? Will we continue to hunt monsters like this? Today's harvest really had a big impact on Zhou Zheng. In just 10 days, everyone hunted more than 20 billion monster materials. If this continues, how much money can they make in a year? The strength of a god of war level warrior should not be so terrifying. In fact, what Zhou Zheng didn't know was that the Phantom team could earn such an astonishing income. Firstly, it was because Yang Wu was much stronger than an ordinary god of war, so he could quickly kill lord-level monsters. Secondly, it was also because of the cooperation of the other members of the Phantom team, which can kill all the beast-level monsters under the lord-level monsters. A junior lord-level monster usually has several high-level beast generals, more than a dozen medium beast generals, and dozens of junior beast generals under his command. In terms of value, the sum total of beast-level monsters far exceeds that of lord-level monsters. However, when the strong god of war fights against lord-level monsters, once the lord-level monster is killed, a large number of beast-level monsters will often disperse. No matter how powerful the god of war is, there will not be a few left, but with the help of Chu Tian and others, Yang Wu was able to kill all the beast-level monsters in one fell swoop, which was why he achieved such a harvest. When Yang Wu heard Zhou Zheng's question, he smiled and joked, "Why, does Brother Zhou feel that he is making money too fast? Do you want me to spend some for you?" That if Yang Wu wants to break through to the peak of the high god of war, without the assistance of a simulator, he may need more than a dozen copies of dragon blood. Where will the money be enough? Of course, keep hunting monsters. That's not possible. I also plan to save money to buy a piece of chalcedony. Zhou Zheng said with a smile. Seeing Yang Wu express his intention to continue hunting monsters, Zhou Zheng also felt a little moved in his heart. Maybe, this will be an opportunity for him to become the god of war. After eating, everyone chose a room to rest. Yang Wu, on the other hand, brought up the simulator panel. On November 1st, the number of times on the simulator panel was refreshed again. Thanks to the readers, I will reward you with 100 points for your eagerness. Chapter 64 Domain. You are listening at MTnovel.audio. Current number of simulations, 1. Do you want to start the sims now? Yes. Yang Wu immediately ordered in his heart. Suddenly, a line of text appeared on the simulator panel in front of Yang Wu. The characters in the sims are created by the simulator itself, and the memory is different from that of the host. The host should be careful when operating. Please select the personality of the simulated character. 1. Brave. 2. Greedy. 3. Selfish. Without any surprise, Yang Wu directly chose a brave character. Next, a large amount of text began to appear on the simulator panel. At the age of 24, your physical fitness has reached the level of a medium god of war, your marksmanship and body skills have all reached the perfect level, and you have mastered the second level of the ultimate marksmanship world destruction. And your body's strength has reached 3 times your own. In December, you went to the Extreme Martial Arts headquarters and were awarded the position of Jiangnan Bay City Supervisor by the head of the Extreme Martial Arts Hall, Hong. At the age of 25, you keep going to the wilderness area to hunt monsters. Your marksmanship has reached the artistic conception level, and your body skills have also improved significantly. In March, because you kept buying dragon blood to improve your physical fitness broke through to the advanced God of War level. In September, because you obtained the Black God suit in advance, you need to go to the Ancient Civilization Ruins number 9. In the trial and assessment at the Ancient Civilization Ruins, you are faced with a life and death crisis. The destruction marksmanship has reached the 3rd level, and your power has quadrupled. Later, you passed the assessment of Ancient Civilization Ruins number 9 and successfully obtained the Black God suit. You handed over the Black God suit to the Martial Arts Hall and obtained 2,000-year-old Willow Hearts. After taking a 1,000-year-old Willow Heart, your physical fitness has reached the peak of the High God of War. At the age of 26, you devoted yourself to training. With the help of the spirit of plants and trees, you successfully broke through to the 1st planetary level and became the 6th inspector of the Extreme Martial Arts Gym. Your marksmanship and body skills are also constantly improving. At the same time, you have cultivated the world destruction marksmanship to the 4th level, and your power has increased 5 times. You are practicing at home and suddenly receive a request for help from your friend Luo Feng's younger brother Luo Hua. It turned out that Li Yao, a high-level god of war, the Vulture, was dealing with Luo Feng's family. Luo Feng is one of the top executives of the Extreme Martial Arts School and is also your friend. Mingyue Community is now your base camp. Therefore, you directly submitted the evidence to the 5 major speakers. In the end, the Ares Palace Council sentenced the Vulture Li Yao to death. You also offended Yan Hai, a strong member of the parliament who once interceded with you on behalf of Li Yao. In December, a terrifying Emperor-level monster suddenly appeared on a fog island on the Australian mainland. Last year, the Extreme Martial Arts School obtained a large number of plant spirits here, so the world's strongest people gathered here. You also came here with the world's strongest man, Hong. Luo Feng, who entered the ruins of Ancient Civilization number 9 with you, actually came out of the ruins alive and possessed council-level strength. This incident brought a big shock to everyone. After Luo Feng learned the news about his family, he was very grateful to you. At the age of 27, the new Emperor-level monster that appeared in Kurashima was killed by Hong. Someone discovered a magical treasure called Mu Mei Jing under the water, so the major forces began a crazy fight. In the process of fighting with other beings who surpassed the God of War level, you realized the 5th level of the world destruction marksmanship, and your power reached 6 times. Finally, you get 3 wood bud crystals. The price for using a wood bud crystal is to ask Hong, the strongest man in the world, to guide you in practicing the 6th level of world destruction marksmanship. You have a good talent. Hong has no hidden secrets and has been guiding you carefully for a month. It's a pity that you always seem to understand but not understand, just like seeing flowers in the fog. At Hong's suggestion, you began to study a large number of ancient Chinese books, trying to find opportunities for breakthroughs. After you returned home, you found 10 wood bud crystals in your closed room. You asked your family, but they didn't know about it. You thought about the strength Luo Feng showed in the battle for Mu Yajing, and you felt enlightened. Many big forces want to exchange the Muya crystal in their hands with you, but unfortunately, you have nothing to ask for. Therefore, more than 10 wood bud crystals are used by you to cultivate your genetic power in exchange for the opportunity to practice under the guidance of the Master of the Hall. In 1 year, with the help of Mu Yajing, you successfully cultivated to the 3rd level of planetary level, and your personal level also improved rapidly under Hong's careful guidance. At the age of 28, a terrifying monster suddenly appeared on the Earth, and its strength actually reached stellar level. Human beings used various methods but failed to kill it. Hong and Thor decided to burn the realm and fight to the death. They failed, but during their battle, your understanding of the 6th level of destruction became deeper. Monsters continue to wreak havoc around the world, and no human being can resist. In the end, your friend Luo Feng stood up, but he needed 5 strong men to be willing to sacrifice their souls and gather everyone's strength to fight the monster. In times of crisis, strong people from all over the world signed up one after another. Your strength was enough to rank among the top 5 among the remaining strong people. Therefore, you became one of the 5 people who sacrificed their souls. After saying goodbye to your family, you and 5 other people formed the 6 points of the formation. The formation is activated and your soul begins to burn. In the process, you finally fully understand the realm mentioned in the 6th level of world destruction, the realm of the realm. It's just that in the formation, once the soul burns, it can never be stopped. Of course, even if you can interrupt it, you won't do it. You also begin to burn your own domain, making Luo Feng at the center of the formation even more powerful. Your breath became weaker and weaker, and finally, you left this world with a trace of hope and expectation. The simulation ended, and Yang Wu could not recover for a long time. Just reading between the lines of the simulator, Yang Wu could feel a powerful spirit. Even though it was just a simulation, Yang Wu was so lucky to be one of the few people who died calmly. Yang Wu didn't know what he would do if he encountered this kind of situation in reality. Can you die calmly? But he did it in the simulator. Yang Wu had always felt that he in the simulator was just a prop, but this time, he admired himself in the simulator for having the courage to die calmly. Don't worry. With me here this time, I will never let this happen again. Yang Wu silently promised in his heart, with the help of the simulator, he will never let the scenes in the simulator appear in reality again. The simulation ends, you can choose one of the following rewards. 1. Martial arts cultivation at the age of 28. 2. Martial arts insights at the age of 28. 3. Life experience in simulation. I choose 2. That with the physical fitness of the 3rd level of planetary level and the areas that might not be understood by the strong ones of cosmic level, Yang Wu naturally knew how to choose. At the moment Yang Wu made his choice, countless insights suddenly appeared in his mind. At this moment, the world destruction marksmanship has been completely integrated, and a strange energy is formed in Yang Wu's body, slowly improving his physical fitness. Fire field. Feeling the strange fluctuations in his body, Yang Wu instantly understood the attributes of his domain. However, now he is still unable to release the force that only the planet level can achieve, and he cannot fully appreciate the magic of the realm. Then, next, we must work hard to improve our physical fitness. A rare sense of urgency appeared in Yang Wu's heart. Although humans won the battle for survival against the golden-horned giant beasts, they paid a heavy price, but this time, Yang Wu never wants the tragedy to happen again. I always feel that the sacrifices of Jia Yi and others are the highlight of the Earth chapter. I remember when I first saw it there, I probably cried. Of course, that was many years ago, and now I am cold-hearted and not so sentimental. However, let's leave some traces of the original emotion. Since there is a protagonist, such a thing will not happen when the golden-horned giant beast appears, but in the simulation, it can still be written. Chapter 65 Emergency Rescue. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. After Yang Wu understood the realm, his strength improved a lot, and it was naturally easy to hunt down Lord-level monsters. Even hunting High Lords is not too difficult. However, in order to help a few teammates, Yang Wu decided to hunt only elementary Lord-level monsters. Because if he goes to hunt down Middle Lords or even High Lords, except for the Captain Chu Tian, all other teammates will be held back. Several teammates were very nice to Yang Wu, so Yang Wu decided to help them anyway. In Yang Wu's plan, he can break through to the planet level in the next simulation, and he will naturally be separated from several teammates by then. So, after a day of rest at the supply base. On November 2nd, everyone in the Phantom team once again set foot on the highway. To City 003, Yang Wu continued to lead the Phantom team in frantically hunting down the group of junior Lord-level monsters, until November 19th. On this day, Yang Wu and others had just finished hunting a junior Lord-level beast. Everyone had just finished collecting monster materials and were about to return to the resting point to rest. Suddenly, Yang Wu's watch vibrated, but there was no movement on the other people's watches. Yang Wu looked down and saw a satellite positioning system map appearing on his watch. There was a dazzling red light spot on the map. It's an emergency rescue signal from the Ares Palace. Yang Wu, who was already very familiar with the God of War Palace, knew exactly what this signal meant. A strong man with a God of War level was in danger. Yang Wu glanced at several teammates and said quickly, "Captain, the God of War is in danger, I want to rush to help. Everyone go over and take a look." Chu Tian said calmly, "Although we can't help much, it's still not a problem to deal with some low-level monsters." "Quick!" Yang Wu and others quickly put on their backpacks and rushed towards the location of the rescue signal. There were so many buildings in City 003 that Yang Wu couldn't burst out at full speed for a while, so Chu Tian and others could barely keep up. Half a minute later, Yang Wu and Chu Tian arrived near a large abandoned shopping plaza. "Brother Tian, the person you are fighting with is in the shopping mall in front of you." Lu Qing's voice came from the communicator. As early as when everyone approached the place asking for help, Lu Qing had already gone to occupy the commanding heights under the protection of Zhou Zhang and the others. Yang Wu and Chu Tian approached cautiously. In the huge shopping plaza, I saw a high lord-level diamond ape chasing and killing two powerful human gods of war. One of the gods of war was almost unable to hold on, but fortunately there was another person who was helping from time to time. It's Poison Demon Spear, Deng Tong and Crazy Sword, Sun Feng. Why did they provoke the high lord-level Vajra ape? Seeing the scene in front of him, Chu Tian couldn't help but be a little confused. Adamantine ranks second among ape monsters. There are two main types of ape monsters, one is the ape with hair and the other is the ape with scales. Among them, the apes with hair are respected by the powerful demon ape, while the apes with scales are respected by the diamond ape. Although the powerful demon ape of the same level is stronger than the diamond ape, the defense of the diamond ape is extremely amazing and it is very difficult to hunt. Among people of the same level, human warriors rarely hunt Vajra apes because the probability of successful hunting is very low. However, the two gods of war in front of them, Deng Tong, the Poison Demon Spear, is only an intermediate god of war, and Sun Feng only has the strength of an elementary god of war. If the two of them provoke a high-ranking lord-level Vajra ape, aren't they asking for trouble? In fact, what Chu Tian didn't know was that this Vajra ape was originally just a mid-level lord-level monster. With the strength of Deng Tong and his two men, it was still possible to kill it together. However, what the two of them didn't expect was that this intermediate lord-level diamond ape had actually broken through to the high lord level. In this way, the two of them were completely suppressed and beaten by the Vajra ape. Fortunately, not long after the diamond ape broke through, the two of them were able to hold on. Yang Wu, this diamond ape should be at the high lord level, and its strength is extremely amazing. Chu Tian suggested from the side, how about we wait until the others arrive before taking action? It's too late. Captain, just sweep the formation for me. After saying that, Yang Wu turned into an afterimage and went straight towards the high lord-level Vajra ape. Deng Tong and Deng Tong could no longer hold on the court, especially Sun Feng, who had suffered considerable injuries. The wisdom of the lord-level monster is already comparable to that of ordinary people, so it naturally knows that Sun Feng is weaker. Therefore, the diamond ape has been relying on its amazing defense to exchange injuries with Sun Feng. If it weren't for Deng Tong's help, Sun Feng might have died. After Yang Wu rushed out, Chu Tian could only stand guard on the side. With his general-level attack power, he was unable to cause effective damage to the high lord-level diamond ape. At the same time as Yang Wu took action, the diamond ape immediately spotted Yang Wu, its eyes full of coldness, another human being willing to die. Just now, while it was resting, two hateful humans suddenly rushed in and killed many of its beast-level monsters. It had just broken through to the high lord level, so naturally it would not let those two hateful humans go. All humans deserve to die. But seeing Yang Wu coming with a gun, King Kong Ape immediately felt a huge threat. This human seems to be stronger than the other two. As a result, the Vajra Ape no longer cared about Deng Tong and the two, and directly waved a boulder-like fist covered with golden scales and rushed towards Yang Wu. The air shook violently, even generating shock waves visible to the naked eye. In just an instant, this lightning-like punch rushed in front of Yang Wu. Boom! Yang Wu stabbed out directly. The tip of the army-breaking spear suddenly accelerated in the air and stabbed directly into the left eye of the high lord-level diamond ape with unparalleled power. Roar! That the King Kong ape lord roared crazily, his eyes widened, and the fist that hit Yang Wu instantly spread out, turning into a giant palm and slamming hard at the barrel of the army-breaking gun. At the same time, the King Kong ape's head lowered slightly, trying to avoid Yang Wu's shot bang sound. In the end, the Vajra ape failed to dodge Yang Wu's fatal blow. Although it dodged its left eye, the tip of the army-breaking spear also hit its skull hard. The most offensive part of the Vajra ape's body is the scales in the center of the chest, which is also the most valuable part of the Vajra ape's body. Next is its skull, but that extremely hard skull was completely shattered by Yang Wu's blow. The high lord-level diamond ape died like this. At this time, it was not even 5 seconds before Yang Wu took action. Everyone was stunned. They were shocked by Yang Wu's strength. Because even the invincible god of war might not be able to kill the high lord-level Vajra ape so quickly, but Yang Wu had already gone to collect materials from the Vajra ape. After General Yang collected the monster materials, everyone came back to their senses. After coming back to his senses, Sun Feng quickly walked up to Yang Wu and thanked him. This must be the famous Yang Wu god of war. Thanks to you for coming to support today, otherwise Sun Feng would have been doomed. Facing the high lord-level Vajra ape, Deng Tong might be able to escape, but Sun Feng might not be able to hold on for long if no one comes to rescue him. Yang Wu also walked over with a smile and said with a smile, Sun Feng god of war said something serious. Everyone in the wilderness area is in danger. I believe that no warrior will stand idly by after seeing it. Sun Feng nodded, although that is what he said, if he is not strong enough, even if he wants to rescue, he will be powerless. This is why he only seeks help through the palace of the god of war. Even if low-level warriors can see the distress signal, they will not be able to help when they arrive, and may even die. While the two were talking, Deng Tong also walked over. Yang Wu, god of war, I haven't seen you for a month, and your strength has increased again. Deng Tong solemnly thank you for today. Deng Tong, god of war, you're welcome. Yang Wu asked with a smile, I wonder how the two gods of war provoked this King Kong ape lord. Hey! Deng Tong sighed and said, it's unlucky for us. This diamond ape was originally just a mid-level lord-level monster. Originally, Sun Feng and I wanted to hunt it. But after doing so, we discovered that it has broken through to the high lord level. If you want to judge the level of a diamond ape, you usually have to look at the color of its scales. But not long after the diamond ape broke through, and the color of its scales had not completely changed, Deng Tong and Deng Tong collided with it. So that's it. Yang Wu directly handed the materials from the King Kong ape lord to Deng Tong, and said with a smile, since the two of you were originally here to hunt this King Kong ape, then I just borrowed flowers to offer to the Buddha and killed this King Kong ape. The materials I have are given to you too. Warriors generally do not ask for benefits when rescuing others in the wilderness area. However, the monsters hunted by warriors during rescue operations generally belong to the people who come to rescue them, as long as the materials can be collected. Therefore, it stands to reason that the material on this diamond ape already belongs to Yang Wu, but at this time, Yang Wu sent out the monster materials, and Sun Feng on the side was very excited. If the materials on this King Kong ape lord were sold to the HR Alliance, they could be sold for at least 10 billion Chinese coins. Sun Feng could not wait to take over for Deng Tong on the spot. But he also knew that although Yang Wu said it was for the two of them, he was always paying attention to Deng Tong. However, when faced with the materials from the high lord-level diamond ape, Deng Tong was a little moved, but he also knew very well that Yang Wu's favor was the most precious. When he gave the monster materials to Yang Wu, wasn't it just for him? A favor? Therefore, Deng Tong didn't know whether to accept it for a while. What? Yang Wu pretended to be dissatisfied and said, I accepted your gift from Deng Tong, god of war. Will Deng Tong, god of war, refuse my gift today? After Yang Wu said this, Deng Tong could only accept Yang Wu's kindness. At first, Deng Tong just gave away a piece of material from a junior lord-level monster, but just 1 month later, he harvested materials from a high-level Lord-level monster, and the value increased nearly 10 times. This can be regarded as a surprise. After processing the monster materials, everyone in the Phantom team rushed over. It just so happened that after Yang Wu and others came out this time, they had almost hunted down the monsters, so everyone returned directly to the base city. Chapter 66 Harvest. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. It has been almost a month since the Phantom team went to the wilderness area this time, therefore, after returning to the base city, everyone made an appointment to meet the next day, and then went home to rest. Early the next morning, Yang Wu rushed to join several teammates, the main urban area of Jiangnan Base City. In the bar on the first floor of the HR Alliance Mall, there were more than a dozen warriors chatting at this time. There were several people surrounding one table, who were several teammates of the Phantom team, as Yang Wu walked in. Brother Yang. Yang Wu, God of War. All the warriors in the bar stood up and greeted Yang Wu respectfully. Yang Wu responded with a smile and walked directly to the Phantom team table. After seeing Yang Wu sit down, the warriors in the bar began to sit down and chat again, but their voices were much lower. Phantom team is so lucky to have a God of War level member. Let me tell you a secret. I heard that when Yang Wu War God joined the Phantom team, he encountered a lot of trouble. That is to say, Yang Wu, God of War, has a good temper. If it were me, I would have left the Phantom team and worked alone. A group of warriors started talking about Yang Wu. It's a bit ridiculous to say that when Yang Wu first joined the Phantom team a few months ago, these warriors were talking about why the Phantom team would let a new warrior join. They always thought that Yang Wu would hold back the Phantom team. Yang Wu. Zhou Jing asked with a smile. We hunted a lot of monster materials in the wilderness area this time, much more than last time. How can we deal with them better? Just sell it for money. Yang Wu ordered a cup of tea and said with a smile. He was planning to continue buying dragon blood to improve his physical fitness, so naturally he had to sell it at the highest price. And everyone put the meeting place in the HR Alliance. Naturally they also wanted to sell money directly. After a while, Yang Wu and others took a large amount of monster materials and went upstairs to find a manager of the HR Alliance. Mr. Yang, Captain Chu, Lao Zhou. A bald old man with a round face was already waiting outside the door and respectfully welcomed Yang Wu and others into the office. Lao Fong, we are old acquaintances, there is no need for this. Zhou Jing said with a smile, you are going to get rich this time. We hunted a lot of monsters in the wilderness area this time. Isn't this looking for you? Monster material. Manager Fong was so happy that he almost jumped up. He was very well informed and knew Yang Wu's strength very early, otherwise he wouldn't be so respectful now. Although he had already made some assumptions in his mind, Manager Fong still couldn't control his excitement when he heard the accurate news. After all, God of War powerhouses usually go to regional directors to sell materials. So how could it be his turn to be a manager? Now that he has the relationship with the Phantom team, he can successfully receive the materials from Yang Wu. Manager Fong, please take care of it. After Yang Wu finished speaking, several teammates opened their backpacks and took out a large amount of monster materials. Oh my god! How many monsters have been hunted? Although Manager Fong was shocked, his hands were very fast. Lord-level powerful demon ape. Lord-level black thread snake. Manager Fong was secretly frightened while using equipment to detect monster materials. Materials for Lord-level monsters that might not normally be received in a month are now like cabbage, one after another. If Zhou Jing hadn't found him this time, he might not have received so many Lord-level monster materials in his entire life. 80 billion Chinese coins. More than half an hour later, Manager Fong gritted his teeth and reported his purchase price. This. When they heard the other party's quotation, Yang Wu and others were slightly stunned. Long before coming here, everyone in the Phantom team had already estimated the price of this batch of monster materials online, which was probably around 76 billion. However, even according to the price given by Wang Tianqing in the supply base, the purchase price of this batch of materials will definitely not exceed 78 billion. Manager Fong quoted a price of 80 billion. He should definitely not make any money, and he might even lose some. Zhou Zheng was also a little worried. He and Manager Fong were old friends, otherwise he wouldn't have found each other, so he quickly said politely, "Old Fong, your price, isn't it a little too much?" Yang Wu and others also looked at each other. "Not much." Manager Fong gritted his teeth and said respectfully, "As long as Mr. Yang comes to me to sell monster materials in the future, I will keep the current price." As soon as Fong Ping said these words, everyone immediately understood what he was thinking. However, Fong Ping can be considered extremely decisive. Even the regional director of the HR Alliance may not be able to quote the price he quoted. Because this time, Fong Ping not only didn't make any money, but also got some. However, in order to achieve the position of supervisor, Fong Ping also decided to fight. Today's Phantom Squad order exceeds his usual annual trading volume. As long as he hugs Yang Wu's thigh, he will definitely become the director of the HR Alliance. Even if you lose some money now, you can still find a way to make it back in the future. No problem. When Yang Wu saw the high price quoted by the other party of 80 billion, he knew that the other party must be asking for something from him. Since he exposed his strength, Yang Wu has encountered too many such things. However, it was just a trivial matter like selling materials, and the price offered by the other party was also very high, so Yang Wu naturally agreed. "Mr. Yang." After hearing Yang Wu's agreement, Manager Fong quickly smiled and said, 80 billion Huaxia coins have been transferred to the account of your warrior team. Yang Wu and others also immediately received the balance change notification, notifying the team that 80 billion Huaxia coins had been added to the account, in a luxurious box. After the 6 members of the Phantom team had had enough food and drinks, they began to divide the money. This time, monster materials were sold for a total of 80 billion. During the hunting process, Yang Wu contributed the most, accounting for 50%, which is 40 billion, the captain also contributed a lot, accounting for 14%, which is 11.2 billion, others contributed equally, Mi, Zheng Tao, Wang Ji, and Xiao Qing, each with 9%, 7.2 billion. Everyone has no opinion, that the person who split the money was Zhou Zheng, the vice-captain of the Phantom team. Zheng Tao and others laughed. They might not have been able to earn so much in a year before, but this time they have earned so much in just over half a month. What else can they say? Of course, Chu Tian was the main force in the team before, and the increase in income was not so exaggerated, but this time it was far more than what he had earned in the past few months. Then let's split the money. Zhou Zheng said with a smile. Everyone nodded, and then Zhou Zheng quickly made the transfer. Drop. Transfer successful. Alerts sounded one after another from several people's communication watches. Yang Wu lowered his head and saw that his balance had also increased by 40 billion. After getting the money, everyone in the Phantom team was very happy. But after a while, everyone stopped smiling and looked at Yang Wu. Chapter 67 Parting. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. Yang Wu. Captain Chu Tian looked at Yang Wu with an increasingly serious expression. We have something to tell you. Captain, what's the matter? Yang Wu asked. Chu Tian looked a little complicated and said, Yang Wu, our team has been through many hardships in the wilderness area. When you first joined the team a few months ago, your strength was not very strong, and you were still a little behind Xiao Qing. Unexpectedly, only 2 months have passed, and your strength has surpassed mine. Of course, although your strength has become particularly strong before, everyone in our team has also improved a little, and it is still possible to help you deal with some beast-level monsters. Moreover, I also plan to take Dragon Blood in the near future to break through to the Junior God of War. In this way, we can survive together for a longer time. But now, you can easily kill High Lord level monsters. Although that King Kong Ape Lord has just broken through, its defense power is among the best even among many high-ranking lords, but it was still killed by you with one move. Yang Wu was startled. Your strength has far surpassed ours. It is no longer appropriate for us to go to the wilderness area together again. Chu Tian said with emotion, if this continues, it will not be good for you or us. In fact, although Yang Wu was able to kill junior lord level monsters before, Chu Tian and the others were still willing to hunt monsters with him. Yang Wu killed the monster lord, and they killed ordinary beast level monsters. In this way, their profits were maximized, and their income was much more than simply hunting junior lords. Although Yang Wu is taking care of them, Yang Wu can also benefit from it. However, now Yang Wu's strength is obviously more than that. He can easily kill high-level lord-level monsters. A high-level lord can be sold for tens of billions. Yang Wu no longer needs to care about those ordinary beast-level monsters. But if everyone followed Yang Wu to deal with the High Lord, it would be too dangerous. Therefore, everyone was naturally unwilling to delay Yang Wu any longer. Yang Wu. Zhou Jing also said, "We all think this way. If you hunt down the junior lords for us, we ourselves will feel uncomfortable. But if you deal with the High Lords, it is not practical for us. It's too dangerous." Yang Wu nodded slowly. He also understands this. There is a big gap between his current strength and Chu Tian and others, and it is time to separate from the Phantom Team. Yang Wu. Lu Qing rarely said, "Actually, we have been hunting monsters so crazily these days. The pace is so fast that I can no longer hold on. But you, obviously still able to do it with ease, we are continuing. It's really inappropriate to be in the same team. Too fast." Yang Wu frowned slightly. Yes, a normal warrior team, even the previous Phantom Team, would only go to the wilderness area 7 or 8 times a year. Under his leadership, the Phantom Team has entered the wilderness area 3 times in a row in the past month, basically hunting monsters crazily every day. Humans are not machines. Such high-intensity fighting every day is a huge burden even for Zhou Zhang and others. Yang Wu finally realized that no matter what aspect, he was not suitable to continue to stay with the Phantom Team. At this time, the atmosphere in the box had become somewhat silent. Everyone stopped talking and looked at Yang Wu. After being silent for a while, Yang Wu finally said, "That's fine. Everyone remembers my communication number. Just call me anytime if you have anything in the future. Don't be polite to me. You know, we were once life and death brothers in the same team." Everyone nodded solemnly. Zhou Zheng still clearly remembered the scene when Yang Wu joined the team. At this time, he felt very complicated. He pretended to laugh and said, "Yang Wu, what are your plans next? Do you continue to hunt monsters like this crazily?" Everyone also looked at Yang Wu. "Yes." Yang Wu nodded and said with a smile, "My current physical fitness is only an intermediate god of war, and there is still a long way to go before the peak of a high-level god of war, so I plan to make money, buy dragon blood, and use dragon blood to improve this." After hearing Yang Wu's words, Zhou Zheng couldn't help but sigh. "You are still ruthless. Dragon's blood is the most expensive treasure in the world that improves physical fitness. Many warriors may not be able to buy one in their lifetime. Even if you have money to buy them, most of them are used during breakthroughs, unlike Yang Wu, who actually used dragon blood as a daily training resource. Such training conditions are probably only available to the world's strongest Hong and the second strongest Lei Shen, right? But thinking about it, with Yang Wu's current rate of making money, he could buy a portion of dragon's blood in a month. The stronger you are, the faster you make money. If this virtuous cycle continues, it will probably take less than a year for Yang Wu to reach the peak of the High God of War. Don't talk about me. Yang Wu waved his hand and asked with a smile, "What are everyone's plans? When do the captain and Sister Qing plan to get married?" After hearing what Yang Wu said, everyone had smiles on their faces. "Before the Chinese New Year, we don't plan to go to the wilderness area again," Chu Tian said with a smile. "Besides, thanks to you Yang Wu, I didn't lose a penny this time, plus what I saved before, I can barely afford to buy a copy of Dragon Blood. After I use Dragon Blood to break through and become a God of War warrior, I will marry Shao Qing. Then I will congratulate the captain in advance." Yang Wu said with a smile, "I will definitely give you a big red envelope then." With Chu Tian's current strength, once his physical fitness breaks through to the God of War level, he will definitely be able to join the God of War palace. "Captain." Zheng Tao was relatively silent today, and finally said, "I plan to go to the Kyoto Bay City with Wang Ji to find out what happened when someone offered a reward for him." Wang Ji also nodded. This was something he and Zheng Tao had discussed last night. I'll go with you. Zhou Zheng said quickly. Although no one said anything about Wang Ji being offered a reward, there was some speculation in their hearts. The members of the Phantom team have been friends for several years. How could they stand by and let Wang Ji and two people go alone? Brother Zhou. Wang Ji said, your Xiaoqi will take the college entrance examination next year. Please stay at home and spend time with your child. This time Brother Zhang and I went to the base city of Kyoto just for investigation. There are too many people. It's useless. If there's anything you need help with, I'll definitely say hello. Yes, Brother Zhou. This matter really needs to be investigated secretly. It's useless if there are too many people. Just stay at home and spend time with your family. Zheng Tao said the same. It seems that everyone has their own plans, so I won't say anything more. Yang Wu forced a smile on his face, raised his glass and said, come on, let's have a drink, I wish everyone can be happy. It's done. Everyone in the Phantom team raised their glasses and drank the wine, and Yang Wu continued, in this case, our team's harvest this time will be divided equally. After speaking, Yang Wu took out his mobile phone and transferred some money to each of the others. Don't refuse. Yang Wu saw a few people about to speak and quickly interrupted, with my strength, this money is really nothing to me. Captain, Sister Qing, since you plan to get married, it is even more important. Save a little more money. Brother Zhou, Brother Zheng, Brother Wang, you also have your own things to do, and there will be a lot of places to spend money in the future. Okay. We will accept your kindness, Yang Wu. After Zhou Zheng finished speaking, he took a deep breath and said solemnly, Yang Wu, you should be careful at ordinary times. Although with your strength, you can hunt down Lord-level monsters, it's very simple to do, but if it attracts the pursuit of King-level monsters, it's no joke. I know. Yang Wu nodded, thanks to the readers, I am not a novice. 88, 100 points reward. Chapter 68 Rat Tide. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. Yang Wu separated from several teammates. From now on, he is no longer a member of the Phantom team. Although he felt a little sad, Yang Wu had already been prepared in his heart, but he was just a little ahead of time. Next, Yang Wu will continue to do what he wants to do, buy dragon blood and improve his physical fitness. In the next 10 days or so, after Yang Wu absorbed the 2 portions of dragon blood he purchased in the palace of the God of War, his brute force reached nearly 250,000 kilograms, which was already the bottom line for the high-level God of War. Time flies so fast, and November 29th comes in a blink of an eye. On this day, in the original work, Lu Qing's father, Lu Gang, the God of War, died in a level 3 rat tide that broke out near county number 0231. Since Yang Wu was a foresight, he naturally would not have watched Lu Gang take the path of the original work, besieged by rats, and finally die in a fierce battle. Originally, Yang Wu wanted to find an opportunity to call Lu Gang elsewhere. However, even if Lu Gang is not near county number 0231, the rat tide will still break out. Moreover, without Lu Gang to contain the large number of rats, I am afraid that more warriors near county number 0231 would die than before. Every warrior is a valuable asset for mankind and the main force for mankind to fight against monsters. They must not be given up easily. Therefore, Yang Wu decided to go there himself. In his memory, the beast tide broke out in the afternoon, but Yang Wu arrived at the abandoned county town of number 0231 in the morning. If he encounters a team of warriors on the road, Yang Wu will persuade them to leave on the grounds that he is about to deal with a lord-level monster. After arriving at county number 0231, Yang Wu randomly found a residential building with a height of more than 20 stories and waited quietly on the balcony of the 20th floor. At around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the clouds were overcast and the wind was howling. The ground in county number 0231 began to shake slightly, and suddenly, a large number of rat monsters appeared in many places on the ground throughout the county. In the blink of an eye, county number 0231 was filled with rat monsters. The rats surged in all directions like a tide, and the darkness was so overwhelming that it was frightening and terrifying. Rat tide, that the team of warriors who were hunting monsters in county number 0231 changed their expressions and immediately began to flee crazily, fearing that they would be surrounded by a tide of rats. At this moment, several loud noises came from the center of the county town. Yang Wu quickly turned around and looked. I saw a warrior wearing a gray combat uniform using a sword to chop down the surrounding monsters and buildings. From time to time he shouted, "Monster, come on. It's Lu Gang, god of war." Yang Wu immediately recognized the identity of this warrior. However, although Lu Gang was in the center of the county at this time, there were not many rat monsters around him. As the noise Lu Gang made became louder and louder, more and more rats were alerted by him. A large number of rats gave up chasing the fleeing warriors, and instead, led by their leaders, returned to the county to besiege Lu Gang. At this time, Yang Wu finally understood the reason for Lu Gang's death, and also understood why warriors such as Wan Dong, who only had warrior-level strength in the original work, were able to escape smoothly. It's Lu Gang. It was Lu Gang who single-handedly held back the Lord-level and Beast-level monsters in the Rat Tide, giving other low-level warriors time to escape. No wonder, a mighty god of war would fall into the third-level Rat Tide. At this time, countless warriors were running away frantically, only wishing that their parents had given them 2 legs. But in such critical moments, someone will always stand up. This time, the person who stood up was Lu Gang. The movements of the rats were very fast. In the blink of an eye, a large number of rats were about to surround Lu Gang, god of war. At this time, Yang Wu also started to take action. Yang Wu jumped down from the 20-story rooftop with a broken army gun in hand. Boom! With a huge explosion, Yang Wu landed with a bang, and a large number of rat monsters turned into crushed corpses. The leader of the rat swarm immediately heard the commotion, and soon a large number of rat swarms came to besiege Yang Wu. This also greatly reduced the pressure on Lu Gang, who was attracting the rat swarm. At this time, not far from where Yang Wu landed, a team of warriors was running away wildly. Seeing that the beasts were about to catch up with them, they were frightened by the huge noise Yang Wu made and returned. "It's a god of war level warrior, we are saved. Run away quickly, even the god of war may not be able to stop the rat tide. Quick, let's go first and ask the military for help. Let's go, I want to fight side by side with the 2 gods of war." That some people are thankful, some are panicked, and some even come forward. All aspects of life are evident at this moment. The leader of the rat tide is extremely intelligent. In his opinion, killing a strong human being is more useful than killing a large number of low-level warriors. Therefore, it began to command the rats to besiege Yang Wu and Lu Gang. However, it mistakenly underestimated Yang Wu's strength. Yang Wu, who owns the Black God suit, is not afraid of the siege of rats at all. Even Lord-level rat monsters cannot cause any harm to him. To shoot a man, shoot a horse first. To capture a thief, capture the king first. Most of the third-level rat tides are beast soldiers, with a small number of beast generals. As for the Lord level, there are only a handful of them. As long as the monster leader is killed, the rat tide will quickly dissipate. Yang Wu looked not far away and saw at a glance a giant rat among the rats, which was about 3 meters long. Its dark brown hair was more than 10 centimeters long. Its big mouth was like a sawtooth, which was chilling and cunning. His eyes rolled around. The one with the largest body size should be the leader of this beast wave. Yang Wu determined the target, then shot out a dragon and went straight to kill the monster leader who was commanding the herd. Boom! Yang Wu's speed instantly exceeded the speed of sound, and countless rat beasts were blown away by him. Seeing Yang Wu's explosive speed, the leader of the rat group immediately realized Yang Wu's terror, and immediately commanded the beasts to swarm forward, but he himself retreated to the rat group further away. Yang Wu was eager to kill the rat swarm, so how could he let the leader of the rat swarm escape? 6 times the force exploded instantly, the speed accelerated again, carrying the corpses of countless rat beasts, and rushed in front of the opponent in an instant. The leader of the rat pack is just an ordinary mid-level lord monster. How can he withstand Yang Wu's attack from behind? Die! Yang Wu shouted loudly, and the gun in his hand stabbed into the bloody mouth of the leader of the rat group with a bit of cold light. Just like a needle stuck in tofu, the ferocious head of the leader of the middle lord level rat pack was directly pierced by Yang Wu. His huge body rushed out a little distance with the inertia, and after killing dozens of rat beasts, he became motionless. With the death of the leader of the rat pack, the rat tide's offensive was stopped, and there was no longer any follow-up. War god Lu Gang, quickly kill the beast-level monsters among the rats. Yang Wu shouted loudly. Good. Lu Gang waved the sword in his hand, and the smelly blood of the rat beast rolled out. He originally thought that he was in dire straits, but he didn't expect that it was now a bright future. While Yang and Wu continued to kill the beast general-level rat beasts, the military's flying fighter planes finally arrived. Rumble. Endless blazing flames suddenly spurted out from the muzzle below the fighter plane, directly covering the rat tide below. Under the high-temperature flames of thousands of degrees, a large number of rat monsters were burned to death directly with their whole bodies on fire. Without the leader's command and being burned by the flames, the rat tide immediately collapsed completely. With shrill and frightening cries, countless rat monsters fled in all directions and disappeared directly into the ground. Yang Wu walked up to Lu Gang, took out a bottle of water from his backpack and handed it to him. Lu Gang's backpack had long been torn apart by the rat tide. At this time, he took the water and drank it in one gulp. He smiled and said, Yang Wu, god of war, it's all thanks to you today. Otherwise, I'm afraid he's going to perish. Lu Gang, god of war. Yang Wu looked at the other party seriously and asked, just now I saw that you were not surrounded by the rat tide. With your strength, even if you are in the center of the beast tide, as long as you are careful, you can still do it. Rushing out. But why do you keep attracting the attention of the rats? Haha. Lu Gang smiled boldly and said, only if I attract the attention of the beasts, the other warriors nearby will have hope of escaping. In this case, as a soldier, I naturally cannot retreat. Yang Wu looked at the other party with a complicated expression, and finally sighed, it is my honor, Yang Wu, to be able to rescue you, Lu Gang, god of war, today. Yang Wu was able to come to rescue Lu Gang today because he knew in his heart that with his current ability, the rat tide would not pose a threat to him at all. If he had been in Lu Gang's situation at that time, could he have sacrificed himself for others? Probably, maybe not. After all, the combined effects of those low-level warriors cannot be compared to that of a god of war. Yang Wu may organize people to avenge the fallen warriors after the rat tide ends, and may spend some money to comfort the families of the dead warriors, but he will not sacrifice himself to save others when the beast tide breaks out. Therefore, Yang Wu admired Lu Gang's previous behavior from the bottom of his heart. It is precisely because of the existence of these people that this world has hope. After Yang Wu came to this world, he initially thought about eternal life, so after knowing that his talent was poor, he kept approaching Luo Feng. After possessing the golden finger, Yang Wu's vision became more broad-minded. On powerful men like Hong and Lei Shen. As for the crises on Earth, the most recent one in Yang Wu's memory was the disaster caused by the golden horn beast. But before that, how many beast tides appeared in the world? How many soldiers and warriors lost their lives? Dark clouds were rolling in the sky, strong winds were sweeping across the earth, lightning flashed and thunder rolled from time to time, and a thunderstorm followed by heavy rain. At this moment, Yang Wu's heart became more determined. Chapter 69 Elite Assessment. You are listening at MaleProtagonist. Because of Yang Wu and Lu Gang, the third-level rat tide that broke out on the afternoon of November 29 dissipated quickly, so the harm caused to humans by this rat tide was minimal. That evening, the military held a small celebration banquet for Yang Wu and Yang Wu in the North Military District of Jiangnan Bay City. The celebration banquet lasted for a long time, and many war god-level experts who had time in Jiangnan Bay City rushed over. The next day, Yang Wu and a group of war gods competed with each other and talked about some major ruins in the world. Although these veteran gods of war are no longer as powerful as Yang Wu, their various experiences have opened Yang Wu's horizons. It wasn't until evening that Yang Wu got on the train back to Yangzhou City. It seems that if there is a chance, I need to find the owner of the museum to buy a smart fighter plane. Sitting on the train home, Yang Wu thought to himself, when they were separated from the other gods of war, several gods of war left in flying fighter planes. As an invincible god of war, Yang Wu is still traveling by train. which is really unreasonable, but if Yang Wu was asked to buy ordinary fighters that cost tens of billions, Yang Wu would not be willing. Not only is it slow in speed and has poor defense, but it also requires a driver to drive when traveling, which is very inconvenient. When I get stronger, I will go to the headquarters to buy a smart fighter from the owner, and then I can go to the Australian mainland to find Kirishima and collect the spirit of plants and trees. Yang Wu already had his own plan in mind. He does not have the talent of a spiritual master, so he has never thought about inheriting the fallen ink star. However, it is not a problem to collect some grass and tree spirits. Even if you don't use it yourself, you can give it to your family or exchange it for other treasures from Hong's place. However, Kirishima's trip can only be done after he breaks through to the planetary level. Otherwise, not to mention the terrifying Moyun vine, even the king-level monster on the Australian continent would be enough for Yang Wu to drink from. Soon, Yang Wu returned to Mingyue community. It was getting late at this time. After Yang Wu returned home, his family had already rested. By the time Yang Wu finished practicing his genetic energy, it was already 12 o'clock in the evening. At this time, the number of simulations on the time simulator was refreshed again. Current number of simulations, 1. Do you want to start the sims now? Yes. Yang Wu immediately ordered in his heart. The characters in the sims are created by the simulator itself, and the memory is different from that of the host. The host should be careful when operating. Please select the personality of the simulated character. 1. Selfish. 2. Greedy. 3. Brave. Yang Wu directly chose a brave character. Next, a large amount of text began to appear on the simulator panel. At the age of 24, your physical fitness has reached the bottom line of a high-level god of war, and you have mastered the 6th level of the ultimate marksmanship world destruction. Not only has your body exerted 6 times your own strength, but you have also understood the realm of fire. At the age of 25, you keep going to the wilderness area to hunt monsters and exchange dragon blood to improve your physical fitness. In September, because you obtained the Black God suit in advance, you need to go to the Ancient Civilization Ruins number 9. After you entered the ruins of Ancient Civilization number 9, you triggered an elite assessment mission that had never appeared in the ruins of Ancient Civilization number 9. The ruler of the ruins trapped you in a crystal house and started your death assessment mission. The controller of the ruins provides you with water and food for 3 years, and requires you to break the assessment room within 3 years by learning the secret book engraved on the wall of the assessment room. If you fail to break the secret room within 3 years, you will fail and die. At the age of 26, you concentrated on practicing the secrets written on the wall in the assessment room, and your strength reached 10 times your own. However, you still couldn't break through the assessment room. At the age of 27, you are still trapped in the ruins of Ancient Civilization number 9. However, through your hard work, your strength has reached 13 times your own. At the age of 28, at this time, your physical fitness has reached the peak of the high god of war, and your strength has reached 15 times your own. The assessment room is already crumbling under your full attack. Unfortunately, the assessment time has come, your assessment mission failed, and the ruins controller wiped you out. Elite assessment mission. Yang Wu couldn't help but be stunned after reading his experience in the simulator. He is not a spiritual master, so why did he trigger the elite assessment mission of Ancient Civilization Ruins number 9? Is it because of the field? Yang Wu was thoughtful. However, Yang Wu was also helpless about his own understanding. In the original work, when Luo Feng was conducting the elite assessment, he completed the 3-year assessment task in just over a year, but if it were Yang Wu himself, after 3 years, he was even worse. It's really annoying to compare people to each other. The simulation ends, you can choose one of the following rewards. 1. Martial arts cultivation at the age of 28. 2. My understanding of martial arts at the age of 28. 3. Life experience in simulation. I choose 2. Yang Wu directly chose the reward of martial arts enlightenment. In this way, he should be able to pass the elite assessment task of the Ancient Civilization Ruins number 9 in the next simulation. At the moment Yang Wu made his choice, countless insights about force-generating techniques suddenly appeared in his mind. In just an instant, his force-generating skills reached a terrifying 15 times level. Even the god of thunder, who used to have the highest power on earth, only had 7 times the power. Now Yang Wu has more than twice his power. It turns out to be the secret of the warrior's 289 styles, that after Yang Wu received the information in his mind about the secret book written on the wall, he also knew the name of the secret book. However, what makes Yang Wu feel uncomfortable is that he clearly remembered every secret technique he had mastered, but no matter how much he recalled, he couldn't recall the parts he hadn't mastered yet. However, Yang Wu had already memorized the secrets in the simulator. Martial Arts Enlightenment, Martial Arts Enlightenment. Yang Wu sat on the bed and muttered to himself. Is it because I haven't learned it yet, so I can't get the secrets memorized in the simulator? Yang Wu seemed to suddenly realize. However, if this is really the case, the plan to obtain cheats in the simulator in the future will be ruined. Yang Wu sighed with some regret. He had previously purchased the Destroy the World marksmanship in the simulator. In order to avoid being chased when using it, he had to purchase it again in reality. However, there are no such rules in the universe. As long as you have the secret book, who cares where you got it? Yang Wu originally thought that when he arrived in the universe, he could refresh the cheats infinitely in the simulator and no longer have to worry about the cheats. But I never thought that what I realized in the simulator was what I had already learned. If I want to learn new content, I still have to find a way to get the secrets. It seems that I still have to go to the ruins of the number 9 ancient civilization in person. Yang Wu secretly made up his mind. The secret of the warrior 289, Yang Wu will never give up. It's just that the content Yang Wu has mastered now has far exceeded the secret books such as World Destruction and 9 Layers of Thunder Knife by countless times, not to mention the content that follows. Even if he has to pay some price, Yang Wu must get this secret book. Chapter 70 Headquarters. You are listening at MTnovel.audio. When he woke up, not long after having breakfast with his family, Yang Wu's communication watch rang. Looking down, Yang Wu quickly answered the phone. Inspector Liu. Yang Wu. Inspector Liu. His voice came from the communication watch. Are you in the base city now? I'm at home now. What, Inspector Liu, do you have anything to do? Yang Wu asked. Okay, don't go away. I'll be there soon. Let's talk when we meet. After saying that, Liu He hung up the phone. Yang Wu, on the other hand, felt a little surprised and stayed alone in the living room thinking about the purpose of Liu He's trip. Soon, a purple-red streamer cut through the sky and stopped not far above Mingyue community. It turned out to be a purple-red triangular fighter plane. Look, everyone, what is in the sky? It's a fighter plane from our martial arts headquarters. Many people in the community discovered this flying fighter plane, and everyone looked at the sky in surprise. The purple-red fighter landed slowly, and finally landed on a lawn deep in the community. Such a big movement has already alarmed the person in charge of Mingyue community, the museum owner Wu Tong. Just as the fighter jet landed, Wu Tong had appeared not far in front of the fighter jet. They should be here to find Yang Wu. I wonder which big shot is here this time. Wu Tong stared at the fighter plane carefully and thought to himself, since Yang Wu's strength has greatly improved, more and more powerful people have come to Mingyue community. As long as Yang Wu was at home, the strong god of war who would never come here would appear from time to time. Wow. The hatch opens, a middle-aged man with long flowing hair stepped out of the fighter plane. It was Liu He, the inspector of the extreme martial arts gym. Wu Tong was stunned for a moment when he saw that the person who appeared was the inspector Liu He. Afterwards, Wu Tong reacted quickly and quickly stepped forward to greet him respectfully. Inspector Liu. Liu He nodded slightly. Inspector Liu. Wu Tong asked respectfully, I don't know why you are here this time. Do you want me to go and inform the president and several supervisors? Liu He has a very high status within the extreme martial arts gym. If the president and supervisor of Jiangnan Bay City knew about the other party's arrival, they would definitely come to greet him in person. No need. Liu He shook his head and said, I'm here to see Yang Wu this time. I'll leave immediately without disturbing others. As expected, although Wu Tong had expected it, he was still a little surprised when the inspector arrived in person. Yang Wu, who heard the commotion, rushed over quickly. After greeting each other, Yang Wu and Wu Tong led them to a quiet room on the third floor of the martial arts building. "Inspector Liu, I wonder if you came to see me this time for something?" Yang Wu said with a smile. With Yang Wu's current strength, he is completely able to match the strong members of the parliament, so he is quite confident when he speaks. Yang Wu. Liu He said with a smile, "You are really calm. When I left last time, didn't I tell you to go to the headquarters to meet the owner?" Yang Wu was startled, and then said, "Inspector, I am not strong enough." "Not strong enough?" Liu He was stunned for a moment, and then asked doubtfully, "You have the strength of the invincible god of war now, isn't it enough? Are you planning to become a being beyond the god of war level in one go?" "I will definitely work hard." Yang Wu said with certainty. "Planet level?" "With the help of the simulator, if he wants to, he might be able to achieve it next month." Seeing Yang Wu's appearance, Liu He couldn't help but smile and joked, "Then I'll wait and see." Beings that surpass the god of war level are the pinnacle of human power. Human beings have accumulated it over the years, but there are only about 50 people. Even if Yang Wu has the strength of the invincible god of war, it is not easy to break through to the planet level. "Inspector, I'm afraid you don't know. I already have planet-level strength. If I explode with all my strength, I can defeat you." Thoughts flashed in Yang Wu's mind. The 9th level of apprentice, the amplitude is 16 times, which is equivalent to the first level of planetary level. The amplitude is 4 times, the average planet-level warrior on Earth can explode 3 to 4 times as much force. Yang Wu's current power is 15 times greater. Coupled with the assistance of the domain, even if the domain cannot be released, it is not difficult to defeat the first planetary level. "Okay, let's not talk about this anymore." Liu He suddenly turned aside and said seriously, "Yang Wu, the museum owner has summoned you and I to head to the headquarters quickly." "What?" Yang Wu was startled. It was Hong who wanted to see him. "The museum owner and we have already seen your battle in the beast tide the day before yesterday." Liu He said with a smile. "The museum owner said at that time that you already have the strength of the invincible god of war, so I want to see you, just in time. Also I'll arrange a new position for you." "I happen to have time, so I took over the mission from the museum owner and came here." Patrol envoys generally have little contact with ordinary war gods. Of course, Liu He was still willing to make friends with an invincible war god like Yang Wu. Therefore, he could obviously make a phone call and ask Yang Wu to rush to the headquarters by himself, but he still came to pick up Yang Wu in person. "If you're okay, we'll leave now." "No problem." Yang Wu nodded. Later, Yang and Wu boarded Liu He's smart fighter together. Whoosh. Under the watchful eyes of the warriors in the community, the triangular fighter plane quickly took off and then immediately flew away. Inside the fighter plane, this is the second time Yang Wu has flown on this flying fighter plane. Although he knows that such a fighter plane is at an inferior level in the universe, Yang Wu still can't control his liking for it. Seeing Yang Wu's expression, Liu He couldn't help but feel a little proud, and showed off, "Yang Wu, this fighter of mine is a Qianquan intelligent fighter. Even a king-level monster cannot destroy it. Of course, there will never be more than 10 fighter planes of this type in the whole world. When I went to the museum owner to exchange for this fighter plane, I spent almost all the wealth I had accumulated over the years." After speaking, Liu He comforted him. "Yang Wu, if you plan to buy a fighter plane, you might as well choose a king-level smart fighter. With your strength, you can buy it after saving for a year and a half." Facing Liu He's enthusiasm, Yang Wu could only smile and nod. 45 minutes later, Liu He's fighter plane landed in Hongning Bay City, an open space not far from the global headquarters of extreme martial arts. The hatch opened, and Yang and Wu stepped out of the flying fighter plane. Liu He pointed at a giant spaceship building not far away and said to Yang Wu, "Yang Wu, this is the headquarters of our extreme martial arts gym. How about it?" It's shocking that even though Yang Wu was prepared, he still took a breath when he saw the building in front of him. What appeared in front of Yang Wu's eyes was a huge spaceship building that was more than 10,000 meters long and reached a height of more than 100 meters. The main entrance of this giant spaceship building is a giant hatch dozens of meters wide, which allows people to enter. Outside the building, There were a large number of armed soldiers stationed, which looked very strict. This is the real headquarters of our extreme martial arts school. Yang Wu looked at this huge spaceship building in shock. This was his first time coming to the headquarters. A blue light shot out from the spacecraft and enveloped Yang Wu. Drop. Identity confirmed, War God Yang Wu, please come in. An electronic voice sounded. Lu He, who was beside Yang Wu, smiled and said, Yang Wu, only a handful of high-level martial arts officials have permission to enter this spaceship. Anyone who breaks into the headquarters without permission will be killed by the defense system immediately. Let's get in quickly. Yang Wu nodded, and Lu He quickly walked through the hatch passage and entered the interior of the spacecraft. In the inner corridor, two middle-aged men wearing blue robes greeted Yang Wu with smiles. Inspector Lu, God of War Yang Wu, please come with us. In the headquarters base, most personnel wear blue robes, and a very few wear red robes. This is the lounge. Please rest here, you two. The owner will summon you later. The man in blue robe sent the two to the lounge and then left obediently. There was no one in the lounge at this time, and Yang and Wu found a random place to sit down. 10 minutes later. Yang Wu, the owner of the hall has summoned you. A voice sounded. Yang Wu turned around and saw a black man in red robes appearing outside the door. When Yang Wu heard the sound, he stood up and walked out of the lounge. He followed the man in red robe along the corridor and soon came to the outside of a quiet room. The black man in red robe bowed slightly and left. Went. Yang Wu, come in. A deep voice sounded. Yes. Yang Wu agreed, opened the door and walked in. This reception room was empty and dark, with only two cushions on the floor. Sitting on one of the cushions was a middle-aged man with black hair. It is hard to imagine that as the world's first person, Hong would stay in such a simple place to receive guests. Master. Yang Wu greeted him respectfully. The black-haired man Hong sat cross-legged on the mat quietly, pointing to the mat in front of him. Sit. Yes. Yang Wu stepped forward and also sat on the cushion. In front of Hong, Yang Wu felt a huge pressure. Yang Wu's strength has now reached planetary level. Even in front of Lu He before, Yang Wu could face it calmly. As expected, he is indeed the best in the world. Yang Wu thought to himself, now, I am still far away from him.